believe in angels, and I believe in you. I believe in the simple things and everything you do. I believe in the heavens above, and I believe in truth. I believe in the love we have, because I believe in you. So tell me, do you feel the way that I feel? And tell me, would you give what I'm willing to give? And I believe in honesty, and I believe it's true. And I believe if you set it free, it will come back to you. And I believe that things were meant to really be. And I believe in the love we have, because I believe in you.
And I do believe we are live, icurecancer.com. This is Ian Jacklin. I should have my lovely co-host with me today. Cynthia, are you there, Cynthia?
Yes, I am. You got me.
Excellent. That means our producer, Vincent Easley, is doing a great job. Thank you, Vincent. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you so much, Vincent. Yeah.
Right on, right on. One last thing for us to worry about. We're not used to that anyway. Aren't we supposed to be actors? We just sort of hit our mark and remember our lines. Isn't that our jobs?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the techno stuff. Not so much.
And let's hope it was a good hair day. Anyway, so let's see what's going on. It's Saturday. We're on the air live, and we have no problems today, which is wonderful. We do have an excellent guest coming up in a bit, but do you want to catch up? Is there anything? We haven't spoke even personally, it seems like, in forever. So what's going on with you, my love?
Yeah, just a really, really busy week. Like crazy busy. And running. That's why you haven't heard from me. And want to put out a warning. We're in a Mercury retrograde, everybody. So
no.
I know. So mechanical things and communication might be a little bit off. But on the positive note, it does slow down. Mercury's going retrograde for a reason. It's a time to slow down. It's a time to go inward. It's a time to contemplate things and wait for answers and things like that. So I just want to put a little, positive spin on there. And, also I just want to once again thank everybody so much who donated to my Indiegogo campaign for my charity, financial aid for people with diseases that want to treat themselves with alternative medicine. Everybody's just been so kind and so supportive. And still going on, I want to just put a big thank you out to Deborah Miller. And I believe she's a Facebook friend of yours as well, right, Ian? Deborah Miller?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She didn't care if Indiegogo was going on or not. And I want to put out a big thank you to her because she became a double donor and was really marvelous. And I also want to thank, which is so funny, one of my friends, Therese Cablon, she was, we were friends since we were, teenagers, like 16-ish. And I believe she's much older than me, so I was 16. She's not going to like that. But I just wanted to thank her.
Right on. Somebody's moving a lot or getting a lot of feedback. Is that Vincent? Is that Cynthia? What's this extra noise? Do you know Vincent?
It's not me. I'm muted up. That's coming from somewhere.
It sounds like somebody's Nike's being dragged along something. You're not moving around, are you, Cynthia?
No, I'm sitting here for once,
Yeah, and I'm not anything. Okay, I guess it was just we had a weird connection. Maybe it's gone. Let's hope so. But,
Yeah, so
okay,
anyway,
but
I
yes,
was just...
yeah, your thing is, I forgot to bring that up, and I'm glad you did. Yeah, just because an Indiegogo ends because they make you pick a date doesn't mean it's over, folks. So you can still go to that same page, look at all the information, and email Cynthia if you still want to help her out with that cause, definitely.
Absolutely, or you can inbox me on Facebook and I can, tell you how to donate, or I can send a request. It's whatever's easiest for everybody until, my website is still under construction, which it should be done by this week, and you can go straight to the website and donate. And yeah, I want to just keep this whole ball rolling. I'm so excited about it. And then also, again, my friend Therese Kablan, she's become, I think you'll laugh at this. When we were kids, we were entering beauty pageants just like to make extra money, because even if you're just like a runner-up or something like that, they used to give you like a little cash prize back then. So we would do that, and that's how I met her. And go ahead and laugh. Get ready to laugh, because I was awful. But part of me wanted to like really work on myself and work on my walking and my public speaking, and you had to do all those things. So I was entering everything like Miss Artichoke, patch. I was many times a Miss Chili Pepper, like at the chili cook-offs, they'd always have a little mini, bathing suit contest. But one of the funnier ones was that Longo Toyota. They had a beauty pageant once a year, of course. And so that's how I met her initially, is I was Miss Longo Toyota and I crowned her. And, I've got to find some pictures somewhere because it's just too funny. So, but all these years later, I just want to say she turned out to be like the most exquisite, dress designer. If you want to check it out, it's Kablan Designs. Kablan is, Cablan, Kablan Designs. And, they're beautiful girls. You got to look at this. They're beautiful. I keep trying to talk her into like, giving me all free dresses because they're really different. They're really beautiful. They'll work on any body type. So, again, a big thank you to her and a big thank you to everyone who is continuing, and who have contacted me as well and said, I still want to donate. How can I do this? So thank you so much. It's just going to get better and better, and I have some meeting with some other people to get the charity on a grander scale and all of this stuff. So it's really good, and thank you everybody for your donations.
Yeah, right on. Thanks everybody. Now, so did we find out, Lynnette, are you with us yet? Okay. Maybe not. Vincent, I wasn't sure how that was. Can you get
I'm
Lynnette?
here, but I have my mute on. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Hey, this is OrganicGuru Lynnette. How are you?
I am excellent, Ian. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Lynnette.
Yeah,
Hi,
Cynthia?
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. We're so excited to talk to you, and I have a million questions. So
Awesome. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'll be speaking at this event. It's April 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I believe, correct? And
yes,
you say the basic bottom lines, Lynnette. Go ahead.
What, about the gala?
Yeah. Give us the basics for that.
Absolutely. We are having the most unique, one-of-a-kind, eventful health event of the year for the natural health industry to help people to understand how to eat organically, live organically, and heal and cure their own diseases such as cancer, diabetes, everything. This is an event, the second annual event, and what I mean by unique, we have actually combined a black tie, fine dining, farm to table, above and beyond organic dinner gala that is catered by none other than an awesome testimony himself, my son, Chef Coty Pate from New Jersey and Lyon, France. So you will get the most unique experience ever. And on top of the gala, we will also be having a silent auction because this event, Ian and Cynthia, is a fundraiser. We do it to raise money and awareness, of course, for the Gerson Treatment Center, which Dr. Patrick Vickers is the head of, and then the American Anti-Cancer Institute with Bob Wright, author of Killing Cancer, Not People. And the event started to actually help sort of fund our tours. I do a lot of funding myself, but fund the tours that I go across the nation on.
Hold on one second, Lynnette. It's your connection that's bad. So what we need to do, Vincent, if you're there, can you call her, try her on Skype or something to get a better connection? Because she's our main guest, and I don't know about Cynthia, but I can hear that it's a pretty bad connection. Is there a chance we can fix that?
Lynnette, are you at your Skype, or are you still out passing out brochures?
Lynnette?
Oh, dear.
No, we totally lost her.
I believe she's on her cell phone.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, that's very bad. I'm not sure why you're on a phone. We need to try and get you on Skype. Cell phones are bad.
Well, that's what I discussed with Vincent. I would have to leave the event now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know any of this. No, that's okay. Don't worry about it then. We'll try and work. You sound better. If you have to, you can just hang up and call in again, all right? 'Cause sometimes we get bad connections. Okay. But right now you sound okay.
Yeah, and Ian, I want to ask you, because now I'm hearing my own feedback. Are you hearing feedback from me?
No, you sound good.
Okay. Yeah, for a second there I was getting a little bit of feedback, of my own feedback. And I just want to say, a light bulb just went off in my head. I did not know Lynnette was, I noticed the event on Facebook, Ian, and I noticed that you were going to the gala, but I didn't put it together that it was Lynnette's gala. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. And I didn't notice either until just now that I never made an event for this, a Facebook event. But Vincent did one for UCY. So that's the whole thing. We're just getting used to sort of shifting some of the responsibilities here so the show can go off a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about this, Lynnette. And I don't know if you know the connection between Ian and I. I was the one that was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Do you know that?
Oh, no, I didn't know that, Cynthia. Okay.
She's the star of the film.
This event.
She's the star.
You need to come to this event.
That's how this whole thing kind of started. The whole iCureCancer.com is Ian and I were in a theater company. I'll just say it really quickly for those who don't know. Ian and I were in a theater company together. I was diagnosed with, what was considered terminal cancer, meaning if I didn't get chemo, radiation, blah, 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 I wouldn't last 2 years. I did all my research. I decided to go all alternative medicine. And so during the rehearsals, I was curing myself and juicing and doing all this stuff, curing myself of cancer, and I cured myself in 8 months and have been cancer-free ever since. Now that's, more than 16 years ago now. And it was funny because I didn't tell anyone, except for the director. I always say that. I told the director, Peter, in case I dropped dead on stage, I wanted him to know what was going on. But I told no one, nobody knew. And then when I got my test results back, of the cell recovery, I whispered to one of my best friends, and Ian was eavesdropping behind me and totally didn't believe it and all this stuff. And Ian's kind of a miracle story too, because he was total opposite. He was like, that's just snake oil. You can't nobody cures themselves of cancer without a doctor, yada, yada, yada. But he was curious. So he insisted, He insisted that I take him to all the places that I went. And I was all over the place. I was working with physicists. I was working with spiritualists. I was working with microscopists. And Ian wanted to meet everybody. Even went to, the Essene seminary where I was and started taking meditation classes. And long story short, boom, he's one of the kings of alternative medicine now. It's hysterical. But this is dear to my heart because on my journey, I had quite a search to try to get organic foods and whatnot. And I have had other people, I was making calls all over the world, but a lot of people, for example, they had to grow their own ECAC tea to make sure it was organic. So I have a lot of questions because this whole organic thing now is getting a bit confusing, so I'd love to talk about that. I'm just saying it's dear to my heart because it was like back then quite a search, you know what I mean, to get organic fruits and vegetables and organic juicing. And even at that time there was the Whole Foods, whatnot, but then there was talk about, some of these are grown in Chile and their organic, rules and regulations are different than ours. And then I was hearing about people cheating about, whether the produce was really organic or not. And then just the bottom line was, even though organic, very expensive, much more expensive, and hence another reason why I created the charity, because I ran into financial difficulties. And do you like the way I tied that all up in a nice bow?
Yeah, that was about right.
Do we still have you, Lynnette?
Lynnette?
Huh. She may not have the best cell service, and perhaps is dropping out. Maybe.
Yeah, possibly. But anyway, I want to jump on something there you said there. Since whenever you can call back, Lynnette. But it's funny you brought up something. Yeah, I was a skeptic, and it was like
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Okay.
The phone. I'm so sorry. My phone keeps pushing mute, but I heard every word that you said, Cynthia. Amazing story. I love it. We definitely need to get you involved with the tours that I go on twice a year to teach the world about organics and let the world know what's really true and pure. And that's why I put on these galas. These galas are very exclusive. They're very unique because, number one, I only take the best of the best and the purest of the pure because I am the Monsanto experiment with my own kidney ailment and kidney surgery. My son, who is the chef of the evening, is his own testimony through 2 near-death experiences, 27 surgeries. And so I do not take any compromises. So our events, we do not accept just any organic vendor. We do not accept just any natural vendor. They have to pass my strict qualifications, meaning it has to be totally true, totally pure, and a toxic-free environment. So awesome. We only bring to the world the best of the best, and we have the best experts all across the nation and best testimonies, such as Jacklin, right there with us on the phone, and then testimonies such as Chris Wark, who will be calling in a moment with his crispy cancer. Then we have the best doctors, such as Dr. Patrick Vickers. We have Mary Toko, the national vaccine expert, and just a plethora of all. We have about 25 speakers total that covers from organic farming, aquaponics, hydroponics, vaccines, real health, real testimonies, and real natural doctors.
That's just fabulous. That is just absolutely fabulous. Before we go further, I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is it Lynnette?
Lynnette. Yes, just Lynnette.
Okay.
Lynnette. Yep, just Lynnette. Yep, Organic Guru Lynnette Marie is what everybody's have called me since I started doing the tours. Actually, before them, I acquired that name in Florida because I introduced the organic world to a central area in Florida that was unaware of it. And so the name Patient Expert and Organic Guru was given to me in Florida. So I've kept it for several years.
Right on.
Good for you.
That's what the whole meaning of this, I think, is bringing grassroots, style to the people, starting small.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what it's all about, just to empower the world, empower the nation, and let our kids, we on our tours, Cynthia and Em, we actually speak in high schools, we speak in colleges, we speak at random non-health events that will let us in because we like to reach that lay person who would not have otherwise heard our message or step foot in a health food store because they don't know. They don't know the Monsanto list. They don't know what organics are. They don't know what GMOs are. So we strive to reach the public that has not been reached. And actually, this event is one of the best and unique events of the health world. But also keep in mind, this is one of the hardest markets that we have is here in the Midwest because they're not that well into what all this is all about. So we are actually speaking to a lot of lay people, a lot of very new people to the organic world. Very, very hard, but you know what? We have solid people and we're making huge impacts with the people that we bring to our event.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It really is because in my travels and whatnot too, I'm still surprised at how many people don't really understand what organic is and how important juicing is. And it's just the strangest thing, my personal journey, because they may not know what organic is quite yet. They still may not know what a redox signaling cell is for sure, maybe not even probiotics yet. But they know what cancer is, and it's somehow, and I never thought this would happen, it's somehow become my calling card because I cured myself with cancer with the organics. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, I'll get that ear prick up, and so it's a great way to open people up and empower them and educate them about the organic world, very much so.
Absolutely, and people like you are great testimonies. We definitely encourage people with testimonies to come to our event so they can encourage others who are struggling and also, speak and get acquainted with the different doctors. So hopefully we can see you there also, Cynthia.
Oh, I would love it. I'm always game for a gala. Just know that.
Awesome. And the gala is black tie, fine dining, dinner gala because, we don't get dressed up too often. It's one time out of your year. If you're not doing anything else, let's all get dressed up out of our normal, casual, organic attire, which, by the way, I actually have some great designers. I'll be wearing an organic hemp outfit. So there you go.
Oh, my gosh.
Black tie attire. So there is ways to incorporate very unique organic clothing into black tie situations.
Oh, absolutely. That's fabulous. It's just so interesting that, the good news is the word is spreading because, I'm thinking about 17 years ago when I was on the search and, so many people, there was nothing organic in the grocery store, that's for sure, and it's just so funny because I live in Hollywood, not far from a Ralph's, and I go to that Ralph's, whole sections of, organic food. So, and everybody thought I was crazy when I was talking about probiotics. They didn't even know what they were. I know now they're in everything. So it's fun to watch, but I feel reminiscent in a sense, just like remembering back, like everybody thought I was crazy. They didn't, they thought I was just making stuff up.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you. That's what they told me 9 years ago when I found this. Well, we were introduced to this natural practicing doctor because of my son. So it was like, oh my goodness, we actually have cures for his disease. He doesn't have to die or have surgeries for the rest of his life. Oh my goodness, I can actually reverse my kidney ailment that I was in the hospital on and off for 25 years and having constant kidney complications. I have prevented myself from being on dialysis now. I still have certain complications because of the surgery, but it is nothing compared to what I was 9 years ago. And then, of course, our son is completely disease-free, surgery-free, alive and thriving at age 25 years old as an organic chef. So things can happen. And ours were two different diseases. His was respiratory papillomatosis, also known as the HPV virus. Mine was kidney complications. So those two things being completely cured and reversed. And then along with, different people like Chris and you, curing your cancer. So if one disease can be cured, two diseases can be cured, why can they not all? There's so many amazing testimonies that we think death is the option or there's just no cure, I'll be in bed for the rest of my life. That is so not true. My thing is now I always tell people, do not take yes for an answer. Why? Because all of the doctors were telling us, mind you, we had 7 different surgeons, 27 surgeries. I didn't stop. They kept saying, yes, this is the destination of your son. Yes, this is all we can do for you. Yes, he will have surgeries for the rest of his life. Yes, he may die. So my motto is do not take yes for an answer whenever it concerns your health. Keep going. Keep searching.
That happened to me as well. I had... and I always like to point out, I had lined up there on Beverly Drive in Beverly Hills, supposedly the country's top oncologists and whatnot, all telling me, you have to get surgery, you have to do chemo, you're going to die. Even one who's pretty famous, and he claims to have 1 foot in Eastern medicine and 1 foot in Western medicine, and I sought him out because I thought he would understand what I was trying to do. And he looked me straight, he sat me down in the office and across the desk and looked me straight in the eye and said, I know what you're trying to do, but all of my patients who have the kind of cancer that you have and tried to go holistic are dead. And so, and in that moment I just shrugged my shoulders and I was like, well, I guess we're going to find out if this alternative medicine stuff it works or not. So I couldn't agree with you. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. There's a cure for everything. There is absolutely a cure for everything. Especially now with the technology and all the incredible products that we know and all of the things we're learning, there's a cure for everything. So I agree. If somebody says you have, I agree. Don't listen to that yes.
Yes, thank you. And also we have to keep in mind that it's not the foods that we eat that are giving us cancer or diseases or complications. it is the foods, but it's the type of food. Food should be our friend, but the key is we have to be completely toxic-free. We have to rethink our brain of what we've been taught all along, how different things are healthy. They can be very healthy for us if we eat them and consume them toxic-free. So we have to understand where the actual disease comes from. Does it come from internally, or is it hereditary? We are told so many times that all of these different diseases are hereditary. Actually, they are not. It's only hereditary if you're doing the exact same thing that your parents or grandparents were doing and you never stopped that cycle. Then it's hereditary because you're eating the same food that they ate to give you that diabetes. You're eating and practicing the same routines that they did to give you the cancer, to give you the respiratory papillomatosis. My son did not inherit the disease from me. What he did was he consumed all of the toxins that I had by growing up on Monsanto farming, eating those GMOs in the 1970s, and eating tons and tons and tons of Roundup, pesticides, herbicides. So my son, I was very toxic, and hence why I have my kidney failures, but we didn't know that's what caused it. So my son, it was not inherited from me. The toxins were transported from me to my son. And it's usually when you have a viral disease, it's usually the firstborn child because they gather most of the mother's toxins when they're born. So that is quite the contrary. It is not an inherited disease. Most of these diseases absolutely are not.
Right.
Yeah, and I just heard not too long ago, and his name escapes me, in the Western medicine world, and perhaps alternative, he's known as the sort of like the father of DNA and chromosomes, and he came out with another book, and he says, forget everything you were taught by chromosomes and DNA. Forget it all. We don't really even know what we're talking about. And was really quite spectacular that he, kind of stepped up to the plate on this. And good for him. Yeah, I wish more doctors would, be willing to do that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And then I love what you're saying because also too now where I'm kind of heading my direction is the frequency work. So you kind of just echoed what I said when people say, but, again, those toxins are on a frequency, and the GMOs and whatnot and the pesticides, they are on a frequency. And so you're kind of inheriting that frequency, but not from the DNA, not from the chromosomes,
right.
And none of that. Yeah. I love it.
Exactly. It is man that has altered our food supply, that has altered our food chain. It is not our creator. I mean, we have an abundance of food on this earth, an abundance of herbs to cure everything, to prevent all kinds of diseases. But because man has played with everything, if you will, they have distorted everything to make it, so much better. But when you mess with Mother Nature, this is what happens. The earth did not give us these diseases. Man did. Right. The sun does not give us skin cancer. Man does.
Yeah, it's totally true. Yeah, well, we just had not too long ago, I wonder what you think about this, Lynnette, and I totally agree because I had a similar experience. Dr. Coldwell was saying that even skin cancer, the sun does not cause skin cancer,
no.
Toxins do.
Absolutely. I've done many, many researches on that, Cynthia. It is proven. I mean, did God really, whether you're a Christian or not, whatever you think the sun was put in the universe for, but was that sun put there by God, our creator, and said, now let there be light. You have light. Oh, wait a minute. I told you, earthlings. It's going to give you cancer, so avoid light like the plague. No, it just doesn't work that way. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying that you cannot get skin poisoning because with our day and time, we do not go outside. We should go outside all day long, but we don't do this. So we're kept inside. We don't have any vitamin D. We don't have any healthy sun. So you go outside and you stay extended long periods of time and you get a sunburn, and it could cause sun poisoning. Very rarely is that ever going to turn into cancer because unless you're using toxic sunscreen. So it's the sunscreens and all of the lotions that we are using that has all of the sodium benzoate that's mixed with citric acid, the titanium dioxide that's mixed with citric acid. So all of those things come into factor. That is what causes the skin cancer, not the sun. Our sun gives us youthful vitamin D, and it also helps improve our vision.
Right.
Yeah, it's just so funny because where I come from, where I grew up in the San Gabriel Valley back then, we were out in the sun all the time and no sunscreen. We all just slathered on the, baby oil, and none of my friends that participated with me. And the big thing was to ditch high school and go to the beach and slather on that baby oil. And none of my friends from back then that were doing the same behavior as I was, nobody got skin cancer, and then all these sunscreens come out and skin cancers all over the place. It's
voila.
Pretty easy equation to add up.
Right.
Okay, so
exactly.
if I may bring the conversation back around to the event, we're going to have the dinner on what is it, a Friday night or a Thursday night?
It's Thursday night. We are doing it on April 3rd, 4th, and 5th, which is a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We tried an event for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday last year, and Sundays just do not work in this area. So we chose Thursday night to do the fine dining dinner gala and silent auction. It is all at the Lodge of the Ozarks in the heartland of America in Branson, Missouri. Thank you, Lodge of the Ozarks, for being our host sponsor for this. And the doors do open at 4 p.m. on Thursday night for silent auction bidding and for vendor visits. We do have 20 vendors that will be there that Thursday night because we wanted to make it very exclusive to certain vendors of the dinner gala. We will have entertainment that night. We will have our awesome MCs, Mistress and Master of Ceremonies, Joni Abbott coming in, and Matt Lord of the Three Redneck Tenors. We have Chris Wark as our guest speaker of the evening. We will be introducing Ian Jacklin. We have Dr. Patrick Vickers as our event keynote speaker, and then we have Bob Bright speaking that evening. And of course, we'll have my son as his little 10-minute testimony of what he has overcome. So that is the awesome fine dining farm to your table dinner gala. And then the 2 days following, again at the Lodge of the Ozarks, is more laid back, our organic festival, which we will have vendors from farmers to water vendors to supplement vendors to skincare vendors, all under one roof to do your awesome shopping with. And we will have entertainment that day. We will have raffle prizes to give away. We'll be selling raffle tickets. And again, this is all a fundraiser. That is 2 days on Friday and Saturday. And on Friday and Saturday, we will also have all of the speakers speaking, such as you, Ian Jacklin, Chris Wark, Mary Toko, and just people from across the nation around the world. And you can find all of this information on livehappybepure.com. That's Live Happy, Be Pure, such is our motto. We all want to live happy and be completely pure.com. Go on there. You will find information on travel, information on hotel, which, by the way, the hotel is giving us an awesome discount of $79 per night as opposed to $130. So book early. These rooms are unheard of, and you won't find any rooms like this. They're not just a hotel room. So book your rooms. Get your tickets online because it is a mandatory RSVP. Last year, we only expected to serve 75 people at the dinner. We ended up serving 155. Thank goodness that my son knew what he was doing, and he planned way more. So we were really shuffling. So it is mandatory because we have to know what your dinner options are. We have a vegan option, a chicken option, and a lamb option, all from the local farmers around here. So please book early to reserve your seat because space is limited. We could have 300 people, but I'd prefer 250 people for the gala. So anyway, please book early. They've already started selling and buying the tickets online. So all of that information is on the Live Happy, Be Pure website. And for just $80, there is no price that you can put on health, but for $80 for all 3 days to hear these phenomenal speakers that would normally cost you thousands of dollars to hear under one roof. I mean, how exciting is that? You get the best of the best experts, the best of the best testimonies, and you get to hear from our awesome friend Ian Jacklin, all under one roof for $80. You just cannot beat that with anything, and there is no excuse to miss this. And if, for instance, you cannot make it that day because you have other plans, please consider going online, purchasing a can't come ticket, and give that ticket to someone else who needs this information.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea.
Hey, guys, I believe we have our guest calling in. Chris?
Cool.
Hey, I'm here.
Awesome.
Chris Wark, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Ian, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. So it's great. We're going to be at the same gala for a change at the same time.
Yes, we are.
Right
Yay,
on.
An officially meeting in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ian, why don't you introduce
Looking
Chris?
forward to it.
Yeah, Chris Wark. Well, he's been on my show a bunch of times. He kind of got infamous recently in the cancer world by getting on Ricky Lake. I think weren't you on more than once too? Did you get on Ricky Lake?
No, I was just on one. I was on it once. Yeah, I was also on Lisa Oz show, which is Dr. Oz's wife. She has a cable network show that I was on.
Oh, I didn't even get that one yet. Darn it. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So anyway, Chris has really been getting out there to the people. He cured himself of stage 3 cancer, holistically a number of years ago. He's a firm believer like I am that vegan diets are great for 3 months to cleanse yourself. But after you've done that, you're probably going to want to incorporate some fish and chicken and stuff. So anyway, Chris, welcome to the show and let us know. Are you excited about coming to our thing in April or what?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I was there last year, and it was, that was the first year that Lynnette put this on, and it was really fun, and the turnout was great. And, I mean, she said, do you want to come back this year? And I said, yeah, I'll come back for sure. I mean, I think it'll be even better this year, bigger and better,
Absolutely.
Speaker lineup's great. I mean, really, if you're anywhere near Midwestern United States, if you're within 6 hours driving distance of Branson, really get there. And I know there are people coming from a lot further. I mean, flying in and stuff like that. But, yeah, man, I'm super pumped about it.
Yay! Awesome. See, there you go. Chris is coming back because it was so awesome last year. And what we do is we like to connect speakers to vendors to people that you haven't met before. So we've got a huge, even more awesome. Chris doesn't even know everything that we have planned. We have some amazing, if anybody wanted to be a vendor, we have amazing things planned for after hours party for our vendors and speakers. So you need to sign up while you can.
Right on.
Well,
Ian, I talked to, I was just going to say one thing, something that you'll appreciate a lot, and I know your listeners will. I was talking to one of my coaching clients. I do cancer coaching, health coaching, and stuff like that. And this is a woman who had just started incorporating cannabis oil. She lives in California and has gotten tremendous pain relief. I mean, just right away. Just only been on it a few days and has already cut her pain med, almost out completely.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, it's a good testimony.
Yeah,
sure.
and what I just recently found out too is that the THC, that's what's curing the cancer. Oh, I'm sorry. My thoughts. What was I going to say about that? Because the same thing just happened to me.
Pain relief?
Yeah, talking to somebody. But, I know what it was. It turns out not only are you getting pain relief, but you're also, the receptors, the cannabinoid receptors are getting more cannabinoids. Much more of the cannabinoids when you get off the pain medication, you get off the steroids. Because the pain medication, the steroids that a lot of cancer patients are on, actually block the cannabinoid receptors. So you can't get, the THC isn't getting to you, your cannabinoids aren't getting to you. So it's good that whatever it is in the oil makes your pain go away anyway to get you off those painkillers, because those painkillers are going to stop the THC. What I'm saying is you can't take them both. You're not supposed to take the painkillers and the THC at the same time, because it's not, so basically try and wean off your drugs and do the Mother Nature stuff. And that's good. Yeah. California is legal, and so you can get some of the best stuff here. Best stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it was about, $60. She went to a local dispensary, she didn't get it on the black market or anything. I think it was about $60 for a 3.5 ounces or 3.5 grams, or not ounces, 3.5 grams, which comes in a syringe full.
Yeah.
And so, that's affordable. That's affordable to get started. Obviously, she'll take more than that over the course of a few months, I'm sure. But her pain meds weren't even working. She has cancer. They think it might be stage 4. And again, she's feeling better. So I'm very encouraged by that. And I know you're a big proponent of cannabis.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's funny that you brought that up, because I was going to bring it up too. Whenever you and I get together on a moment, I like what's the latest? So here's the latest.
Yeah.
And it happens to be about the cannabis hemp oil. Not only is it good that way, but for skin, I've been finding out if you have skin cancer, which you put that on in itself, and that's supposed to get rid of the cancer. But if you also apply it with castor oil, all natural castor oil topically with the cannabis hemp oil apparently it works like DMSO does to high dose vitamin C intravenously. It's a penetrator. It'll help the oil penetrate into the cell better. So that's the one note that I've learned. If you have a topical cancer, and you're putting it on, then you can mix it with the castor oil, like a 9-to-1 ratio, like a little dot of the cannabis oil and then like 9 dots of the castor oil, and that will get it into the cells much better. So that's like the latest little tidbit of information I got.
Yeah, I want to jump in on that too, Ian, because we did a show with the scientist that was telling you about this. We did a whole show on that, and just on using it as a topical specifically if there's a cyst. He gave stuff on this show, so if you guys want to hear it again and you're interested, you can just go on Facebook and find it, or ask Ian or myself, because it was really important. He gave step by step on this show about how to apply it. There's certain, different kinds of steps you take because, you don't want to do too much. You don't want to get into a bunch of pain. Sometimes there's a possibility of slight pain. You want to know what that's about before you apply anything. It was a really great show of an instructional how-to using the cannabis and the castor oil as a topical. So if you're interested in that, we have the archives for sure.
Yeah, and that was Michael McDonald. Michael McDonald was our friend.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So someone has to be a legal resident of California to buy it in California. Is that the deal?
Yes. Yeah. So people that need to they basically have to move here, get a license and do all that. Or they just, you can go black market, of course, underground and the Angel Networks will help people get it, but it's not going to be as cheap, of course.
Yeah. Well, and the good thing is, for medical purposes, it looks like a bunch of states are really moving in that direction in this year.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time because I've been watching the numbers, and like even with Colorado going, recreational is still making recreational marijuana legal. And, the day the dispensary opened and that law passed, there was people wrapped around the block. So they're, Yeah. So they're estimating, but they think it's a very low estimate of $67 million in taxes annually, that of a profit. So Washington State's going in the spring. I believe they're going legal. So as in a way, the money is kind of helping people in a sense because the different states are going to see that revenue and they're going to pass it if not recreational, certainly medical.
Yeah, the prohibition is over. That Hearst and DuPont screwed everything up back in the day when they owned the tree companies and were losing the business to the cannabis, to the hemp plants. Cause that's a 13-week cycle. You've got whereas a tree takes 100 years. And so anybody, The Emperor Wears No Clothes is a great book to read if you've never learned the true marijuana story of America. The Emperor Wears No Clothes. But it's all come around. Finally, we are in the age of Aquarius and out of the dark ages. And we the people are getting our voices heard. Thanks to the internet, we're connecting and learning from each other. And we're seeing that our leaders have us stymied. I mean, they've got us in a corner. And if we don't, fight our way out, we're going to die there. So, and luckily there's enough of us waking up. Look at Cynthia, 17 years ago, we couldn't get somebody to listen to us. Now they come to us and they know what an alkaline diet is.
Yeah. Pretty funny, interesting stuff. I didn't even know that, back to 17 years ago, I didn't even know I was putting myself on an alkaline diet. I'd never heard that terminology. That's what I was doing. But I didn't hear what I was told by a physicist is, we got to cleanse your cells. We got to remove the toxins and whatnot. But alkaline diet was never even mentioned, so it's just so funny to watch it come kind of full circle back around now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even just in the last, since YouTube, YouTube's only been around since 2006, which seems crazy.
I know.
But, in 2004, that's when I was trying to heal myself and I didn't even use the internet.
Whoa.
I'm serious. Like I had internet access, obviously, but I didn't use it for any information about cancer or healing or anything. Like everything I learned was from hard copy books.
Really?
That I found and ordered. Yeah, there wasn't an abundance of information online about healing cancer 10 years ago.
Oh, Chris, when I was sick, I got sick in 1996.
Yeah,
so
right. So
there was no internet. I mean, if there was, nobody knew about it. So, yeah, I had to do research the old-fashioned way, go to the library, pick up the telephone. I had to get in the car and drive all over the country or all over the state to the different physicists and whatnot who kind of had access to this information. Yeah. I mean, now it's really... It's still, now, honestly, when I look at people trying to heal themselves now with so much information, it's getting a little confusing and there's a lot of misinformation on the internet. So it is, again, still trying to weed yourself through to, your own truth and what's going to work best for you. But, I mean, I guess there was an internet in 1996 or something.
There was, but I mean, it was like the fledgling. That's when I was a freshman in college in 1995. And that's the first time, that's when really everyone was getting online and emailing and all that kind of stuff. The first time I emailed was 1995.
Right, yeah.
So, anyway, it is crazy, but you're right. There's a lot of information. You do have to sort through a lot of things, and there's a lot of conflicting ideas and opinions, and even just in the natural world, even in the holistic, alternative, natural health side, there's a lot of very, very different opinions, and I know that can cause a lot of confusion and anxiety and really just analysis paralysis for people that are trying to heal themselves and trying to learn. And, anybody out there listening, I just want to encourage you, you do have to listen to your instincts and your intuition and read a lot and learn a lot and then look for those common threads because, if you ask 20 or 30 different people that have healed their cancer what they did. A lot of them did very different things, but they had some very specific things in common, like radically changing their diet, tons of fruits and vegetables. Some of them may, eliminate all animal products. Some maybe just cut way back. Obviously there's a lot of supplementation out there, and some worked with alternative practitioners and doctors and things, and some did it on their own,
Yeah, there's
the encouraging thing is that there's a lot of different people have healed a lot of different ways, and there isn't one. You don't have to get it right or get it perfect, but you do. Yeah, have
absolutely,
to
Chris. You're totally. You're singing my song. That's the whole point. I've noticed that working with alternative medicine doctors as well, some of them, they're still leaning a little bit over to the Western medicine sort of consciousness of a blanket cure for everybody. No cure is going to be exactly alike because no system is exactly alike. I always say, look at your fingerprints. There's not another one on the planet like you. Yeah. So there's always going to be the tiniest little adjustment. Even say, for example, the person who's closest to me in my DNA is my sister. But if she were to get ill, she would still have to be doing her own little twists. There are fundamentals like alkaline diet, organic, things like that. But really, and that's the key there, because when the old saying, seek and ye shall find, but that's also where the self-empowerment is. And I'm just doing a lot of research right now about the big thing now is the recurrence of the cancer. Which I know what the cause is, but for the reoccurrence, I know what that problem is, but then there's some contributing factors. And even if you go to an alternative medicine doctor, who's, one of the great guys down in Mexico or what have you, there's still that little bit of giving your power away because you're giving your health and you're putting your health in somebody else's hands, as opposed to, certainly, I always say, confer with them, go on their regimen, but also have the self-empowerment if they, put a supplement in front of you and it just doesn't resonate with you, have the strength to go, maybe not, that sort of thing. And it really is about taking, the self-empowerment, taking your own power back, not throwing your whole everything into somebody else's hands, which is, of course, what Western medicine, that's the dictation there.
Well, that is the way we've been conditioned. And so even people that don't want to do traditional cancer treatment, that are seeking nutrition, natural therapies, alternative practitioners, they're still in that mindset, like you said, where they go down and they just want a doctor to solve all their problems, and they're abdicating their responsibility for their own health and to a doctor, and they're putting all their faith, hope, and trust in in an alternative doctor who, may have some great success stories, may have healed some people or a lot of people or whatever, but it's definitely the wrong mindset to have. And, the biggest problem I see with clinics in Mexico, and Dr. Patrick Vickers, who's speaking at this event in Branson, is a terrific guy. I mean, I really respect him a lot. The biggest problem that he has, and a lot of these places have, is patients will come down, they'll get on a very hardcore diet protocol, juicing, raw food, coffee enemas, you name it, all the whole shebang, and they'll do great for 3 weeks. Their blood markers will go down, their energy will come back, they'll get out of the wheelchair, whatever. But then they go home and they fall off the wagon.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about. They go back to whatever the frequency was that made them sick in the first place. So that's what I was talking about.
That's thoughts and emotions. Yeah.
That's what the reoccurrence is. And unfortunately, Ian and I know that all too well because one of our nearest and dearest, who we used to do a radio show with, that happened to her, and she got a 100% bill of health from breast cancer, but then for some strange reason, went back to the exact frequency, vibration, people, emotional reactions, so on and so on and so forth, and made her sick again, and then, she left us. And I think that, I just want to say that it's not just, so many people want to blame it on the diet. It's not just the diet. It's mind, body, and spirit.
You're right.
And so, and spirit is frequency. That's exactly what it is. It's energy. And going back to whatever lifestyle, whether it is food or family, whatever, or the way you treat yourself, most importantly, you go back to that, and you're going to go back to the frequency that made you ill in the first place.
That's right. Living the life that essentially promoted disease.
Exactly.
And it's easy to go back to. I mean, that's the thing, it's just like the dieter who gets on a strict diet, loses weight, but then eventually they gravitate back to their old eating habits and they gain all their weight back. It's the same with cancer. Yeah. It really is a lifelong change. Everything has to change. Your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical diet and exercise. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's why I thought I was kind of lucky in the fact that, it took me 8 months to cure myself. So I had that 8 months of time where my new habits were really getting, instilled in me, that those new habits really started to become a routine. And plus, I'll say it again, I did not go back on the spiritual work, meaning I stayed on that spiritual path. I stayed at the meditation center, things like that. So, because 3 weeks or even going through a surgery, whatever, is a short amount of time. You have to really examine your habits and that's, it's a short amount of time, 3 weeks. It doesn't feel like it's long enough to really let those new healthy habits solidify as far as I'm concerned.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. And not in that environment where it's easy. It's easy when you're at a clinic. And it's hard when you're at home. And I never went to a clinic. I just started at my house. I was like, I got to do this, got to figure out how to make it work, got to start juicing raw food and all that stuff. And so I found a naturopath who I worked with that was a big advocate and encouraged me. But again, I was doing it all myself at my house. And so it started just like you. And I tell everybody, look, you're building a new body, and it takes about 2 years. Just on the physical side to build a new body, to replace every cell with new ones. It takes 2 years to replace all your bones and organs. Obviously your skin, hair, and nails are regenerating very fast. But yeah, I mean, really, you're on a long track. You're not just gonna flip the cancer switch off in a couple of weeks and it stay off. Yeah. And the thing is that to ensure that, and what I always tell everyone is, make it a joyous path. Then you don't want to go back. Make it a joyous, I was just having fun learning all these new physics and all this stuff, and all the spirituality and the meditations, and I was having a ball. And so, that's how you ensure, make it a joyous path, not,
You know, oh God, I got a juice, or you know, and once you're having fun, it's no effort. You can't wait.
I was the exact same way. Well, and it's funny, you know, we have so much in common because we both did it. It's like, you have to do it. I mean, there's just some things that have to go this way, and that's the mental attitude part about it being exciting, and it's an adventure, and you're loving it, and you're loving your life, and you know, the joy is there. And some people, it's the drudgery, and it's very hard to pull them to the other side of positivity and excitement. And it's just, they just look at it as a hassle and a chore and a burden, and I don't want to do this, you know, I hate vegetables, whatever.
Do you find as a cancer coach, because I'm doing this now, as for my own survival, I'm like,
yeah.
I can pretty much read somebody's energy right away if they're into saving themselves or not. Because I don't want to waste time with somebody that's not. And I totally understand them. Like, cancer's your way out. When you get cancer, you know, if your life sucks, I'd be doing backflips saying, you know what, perfect, thank you, because I was sick of this stupid place anyway. But if you love life and you want to get past it, then that's going to be a totally different path. And I would say if there's anybody out there that's really not loving life right now, really figure out how to start loving it, because you probably will get cancer down the line if you don't. I mean, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And I started practicing what I preach about 7-8 months ago when I started juicing, and my pH was 5 for over 6 months, I'd say, and that means cancer. I would tell somebody that if they came to me and I had them check their pH and it was 5 for over 6 months, I'd say, my God, man, you know, you need to get on an alkaline diet or you're probably going to get cancer pretty soon here, you know? So I basically said that to myself, and it worked, boy. My pH went right back up to 7.4. I dropped 40 pounds. I'm ripped, shredded. I feel great like I've never felt in many years, and I'm way older than I've ever been.
If I may jump in here, I'm looking at the time, and I just want Lynnette and Chris and everyone an opportunity once again for their contact information, websites, et cetera, et cetera. Lynnette, are you still there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Yes, thank you so much for having us on the show today. Again, my name is Organic Guru Lynnette Marie. You can find information about our bicycle tours. Please, we encourage everybody to look on this. You can participate in your own hometown by following us. We'll give you details. Go on fuelforthebody.org. That's O-R-G. That's the name of my book. fuelforthebody.org, and send us information or send us contact details so we can get back with you. And everybody, do not miss this health event of the year with phenomenal expert speakers such as Ian and Chris and Dr. Patrick Vickers. Go to livehappybepure.com. Get your tickets early so you can RSVP with your vegan choice, chicken choice, or lamb choice of the fine dining organic dinner gala.
Right on. Thank you.
And then how about you
have a phenomenal, have a phenomenal day. And remember, just like Ian said, get happy and live happy, be pure. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, Lynnette.
Bye, Lynnette.
Thank you, Lynnette.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Quick wrap up from you, Chris.
Yeah. For anyone out there that doesn't know me, I'm a 10-year stage 3 colon cancer survivor. I had surgery but refused chemotherapy and used nutrition and natural therapies to heal. And I started a blog 3 years ago that's called chrisbeatcancer.com, and it has tons of stuff on there. Info about chemotherapy and radiation and nutrition, and there's a bunch of other natural survivor stories and interviews. And it's really grown to be a really big site. We got almost 2 million hits last year. So it's just a resource that I've built for people that are looking for information on nutrition and natural therapies to heal.
Can you say that one more time for me? When you were saying the blog, one word I think dropped out. I didn't quite hear you. Can you say it one more time?
Chris, C-H-R-I-S, chrisbeatcancer.com.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Chris.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks so much, Chris. Really appreciate it, and can't wait to finally meet you in real life here. I feel like we're almost like a superhero duo. You know what I mean? Like we'll have to get some pictures done where we got capes on and we're like flexing.
Yes, we're definitely on the same team. Glad to be on the same team as you, Ian.
Right on. Thank you so much, Chris Wark and Lynnette Guru. Cynthia Books. And myself, Ian Jacklin, we all say Godspeed, God bless, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you.
I believe in angels, and I believe in you. I believe in the simple things and everything you do. I believe in the heavens above, and I believe in truth. I believe in the love we have, because I believe in you.